Hi, I'm GUYINAHTGAMES.
Hi, I'm ZakashiGaming.
And we are the Silver Foxes. Today we're going to do video game music of games we've been playing recently. Enjoy our first track. Warm and nostalgic, that, isn't it?
It is so. It's the perfect track. It
really is.
There's what else can you say about it really, other than I kind of picked that track because
Yes, you did pick this one. It was your introduction to
I
it.
mean, it's kind of ours. I mean, I say I picked it, but it's both ours. We both love this song.
Yeah.
We both love this track with all of our heart. It's mainly I picked it because I haven't played 10 for. Oh, I mean, I played it maybe about 2 years ago, and I 100%ed it on the Switch, but that's just blowing my own ego there, because I don't want to start through all that, doing all that again. Jesus Christ, I'm not doing that anyway.
Now do
I
with
digress.
10-2.
Sod that one off.
10-2 is a vibe, man. It's a vibe.
It certainly is. No, I kind of picked it because recently, me and my partner, or fiance, should I say, we got bikes recently, and we are. Me and Mr. Hat here, we both live in a beached town.
Beach town resort. Well, I don't know if I call it a resort, but it's.
It used to be.
We live in beach towns.
It used to be.
Yeah.
So I was biking on the front of the beach, and this track was just playing in my head the whole time.
Absolutely,
just
beautiful,
because
man.
Because it was the whole front of like just. The sun was going down, nice orange sunset, and then just sand everywhere, and people playing. There was people playing with playing balls and stuff. So I'm just like, this is Besaid. I'm living literally in my own Besaid.
Absolutely.
And it was just in my head. I was just cycling, and I'm thinking my own little world. I was just like, how much this track truly still brings mostly every year I have this track in my head, plays without even me having to hear it, and I'm just like, oh, there's a reason for it, and it's nostalgia. I'm a very nostalgic person.
Absolutely,
and again, I know I'm underselling this song, but I think most people will, because it's just
your
the
passion's definitely coming
track.
through for it, though. Like,
yeah.
I just get like this like overwhelming sense of just warmness. Like as you I listen to this track like yearly, quite often. It's one of my most played Final Fantasy tracks throughout the Final Fantasy history. I played this on the demo of the Final Fantasy VI demo. That's what it came with originally, and the section you play within that demo is the very beginning. And another section of the demo is where this track is featured in Besaid. And I don't know which parts of the songs invoke a beachy vibe, because when I hear the track, I'm not hearing like waves per se, which is something like I imagine a typical composer would include, something wavy like within the soundscape. But this doesn't really do that. It's the sounds that it picked. Maybe it's just the dun dun dun. It's just so calming and slow, not slow to a crawl. It kind of just brings your body down to a sense of peace and relaxation, but yet it keeps moving in a direction. Like, as you say, just biking along the beach, and it's warm and sunny, and that vibe. And this music just creates that imagery within the mind. And maybe it helps that we've already got imagery of it because it's featured in a video game. That also helps sell it. It'd be interesting to have the track heard by people who have never played the video game before, and to see what emotions or imagery it invokes within them. It's certainly quite a calming track. I really enjoy it. It's very nostalgic. Not so much nostalgic that it takes me back to a certain point in time, because maybe not quite like Zach. I'm not overly... I have my nostalgic moments for sure, but I'm always very much a living imagination of the future. Like, my memory is a wonderment in how little I remember. I don't really remember much very well. This certainly takes me back to playing the video game and that specific scene of the demo and being blown away by just the graphical leap from Final Fantasy 9 to Final Fantasy 10. This truly felt like a PlayStation 2 game. Like this was next gen with like Final 100%. Fantasy with voice acting. And not just with the graphics, but with the music as well. Just we're getting like a wider range of soundscapes. Going back to the track itself, yeah, it just creates this sense of warmness and nostalgia, like walking along just a serene crystalline beach where the water is just crystalline and the sand just sparkles and water heavy. So yeah, I can feel that. I very, very much enjoy this track. It's one I listen to quite regularly. I very much enjoy it. Thanks for bringing it along. And that was by... I should have said this earlier on. We just roll with it. We're just two dudes with a microphone. We're not professionals, and we never claim to be. That was Besaid from video game Final Fantasy X, composed by Masashi Hamauzu. Soundtrack was also composed by Nobuo Uematsu, the famous Nobuo Uematsu.
Famous, put some stank on it, man. Although
Masashi Hamauzu is also incredibly famous in his own right. He's very much spearheading the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Remake series. But with this track in particular, I believe this individual, Masashi, composed this track. And it's great. And it is different to a Nobuo Uematsu track. I think some of my favourite tracks from this soundtrack is actually by Masashi. Yeah, there's definitely a distinction between Nobuo Uematsu and Masashi, but I think they work together quite well. Got to get right into the next track.
We certainly can do.
Well, something that was quite warm and nostalgic to, I would say, quite dark and mysterious. I think that's fair to say. From a video game that came out this year that needs very little introduction, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I feel like anybody with a controller or a keyboard or mouse has been talking about this game, myself included. I've been very careful with tracks, what track I wanted to bring, because I know you've not played this video game.
Not yet.
And you would like to experience it for yourself, and I cannot wait for you to experience this game. So I just picked the track Alicia, which is the menu. It's the first track you hear in the video game, and the track was featured live on Gamescom 2025. The composer, Lorien, I will butcher every single one of these pronunciations. I am awfully sorry. I don't mean to. I will try my best where applicable. Composer is Lorien Testard. The vocalist is Alice Duport-Percier. Again, apologies. Featured in the video game Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And the track is Alicia. And we're going to do the live rendition of it from Gamescom 2025. Enjoy!
「
Okay, now we're going to talk about the next two tracks.
Now we can talk.
Now we're going to talk about the next two tracks. For context, for listeners, what I did was I turned on the microphone after the first track, after we agreed we're going to do two tracks and then talk about it. Because I'm a dum-dum. I make mistakes.
Can't stick to his own rules.
I know. It's such a shame I'm a human being that makes mistakes. Why can't I just be perfect?
Why can't you be perfect?
I know. I know.
Perfect.
I know. Just be better. Just be a gamer.
Exactly.
Just be gooder. Get good, as Paige would say.
Yeah, get good.
So the tracks we played was Alicia. Again, pronunciations, my bad. I'm ignorant. From Clair Obscur, composed by Lorien Testard and sung by Alice Duport-Percier. And of course, the legendary Reign of Septims from Oblivion Elder Scrolls by Jeremy Soule.
Legendary Jeremy Soule.
So I brought Alicia from Clair Obscur, the game that everyone's talking about this year. It's probably going to win Game of the Year, and
it found a way into your heart very quick, didn't it?
Absolutely. I think it probably is. I still need to sit down with it. It's that game's very... Oof. I don't want to really talk about it because you've not played it. I'm here to talk about the music in general. So,
yeah.
So this track, it's quite... It's... I feel like it's a celebration of like French. Lorien is very much. Lorien's very much wanted to make a soundtrack that's a celebration of French and French culture, and a lot of the pieces within this soundtrack incorporate a lot of French styling of music. And with this track especially, because we've listened to a live rendition of it. It's not that much different in terms of tone. It's very much the same. It's quite a solitary piece, I find. Like, it's very solitary.
Yeah, I felt
that. Quite sad and tragic. Even without the context of what's going on around, I just get this sense of like solitary, like a low point. Yeah, we still have to move forward. And with just and it expresses so much just from the singular guitar that Lorien's playing. It's quite slow and picky. It guides along the track quite smoothly, and Alice's vocal performance is wow. It's
Yeah, it's
wow.
got a good voice. Great
Her
voice.
voice is just beautiful, incredibly soulful. Expresses a lot. And her vocal range within the soundtrack itself is it's like witnessing like a beautiful crystal piece. That's how I'm imagining it visually. It's so, the sound is so, like the vocal performance of Alice is like so precious. It's awe-inspiring. It's incredibly beautiful. Like a Fabergé egg. It's so delicate you don't want to touch it. I just want to preserve it for the rest of time. Incredible performance by these two, especially with the track itself. A great track. What was your thoughts on the track?
Right, it was very beautiful. Like it's one of those that you, it's music in games now have become more than just game music. These tracks could easily fit into films, and I think that's what's happened over the years of gaming of the world in games. That a load of tracks now are very like. They're not usually back in the 80s and the 90s. You'd hear music and you'd be like, "Oh, that belongs in a game." You can clearly tell that belonged in a game.
Absolutely.
And now it's like
people used to look down on that too. Yeah,
they did. Yes, they did. And this is a perfect song that's like transitioned into, or overcome that gaming stigma of what music used to be.
Absolutely.
And
it's going to present a pool of tracks to people to go, no, video game music is legitimately should be within the conversational table of all music. Like this track is one of those you'd bring to the table. Absolutely. Yeah. Not that older ones with bleeps and bloops can't join the table as well.
No, of course not.
You're making an argument, you want to bring the best examples forward. And this is definitely one of those.
Yeah, 100% on that one.
Mm-hmm. And then we went to Reign of Septims from Oblivion, which is the track you brought today. And I don't think anything screams more regal and adventurous than the opening of this of Oblivion. I think it's the horns which is doing like the regalness. It's very Lord of the Rings.
It is, yeah. You can definitely tell. Like it's to me, this is the theme of adventure.
Absolutely. You love Oblivion, don't you?
I loved Oblivion. Like Oblivion for me was, again, I'm very, as many people are probably going to know, I am very nostalgic. So I am going to pick a lot of tracks that are very nostalgic to me. Although I think that the ones after this aren't very nostalgic. But anyway, most recent. But yes, of course, we had the Oblivion remake that Shadow dropped not long ago. I was absolutely hyped when they did that. So. And the game is phenomenal, but going back to the track, there was loads of tracks that I could have picked for Oblivion, but I was like, it will always be the again, and then my nostalgia brain is going, I will always remember this game and what the opening, because of every time because you couldn't. Playing it on the 360, this song would play out a bit before you even got to press before they pressed the start button, and then it did all the loading. So you'd hear this song a lot more than you'd want to. But this song was so good, and it just made you like get into that zone of what you're about to go on. And that Oblivion
is adventure.
Yeah, exactly. It is the adventure game.
Yeah, that was the sense I got from this one. It's the horns on how they start quite low and then they kind of build up. It's like it's going up, like, come on, get up, we're going on an adventure. And then, but even like in the middle of the track somewhere, it kind of brings it back down, like the calmness of adventure, because there's adventure is not just all the high grand, I don't know what word I'm trying to find, the grand emotional payoffs that there are, there's downplay moments as well, and we kind of need that low moments in like a piece of music with a sense of adventure to emphasize the grand adventure that you're about to have, because if everything's just on top level, it'll lose meaning. Whereas I feel like in this track, Jeremy did a very good job of, it builds up to a grand adventure and then it brings it back down and then it quickly builds it back up again, to really sell how big of not just like the track but this game as well. Like at this time, at that present in video game industry, this was a big RPG open world where it was, once you're out the tutorial bit, you can go anywhere and do whatever quest you want. It was quite grand in scale, and I feel like this track resonated with a lot of people, as it did with you. That call to arms, as it were. I think that might be the best description for this track. A call to adventure. And I feel like I did that with certainly the horns. I kept getting Lord of the Rings vibe, which was kind of appropriate as well for Lord of the Rings.
That's not a song choice, by the way, that people can hear that in the background of Vista Hat. I could hear the ice cream van.
Oh, can you?
That's great. I was like, yes, and the next track is the ice cream van.
Truck. I do apologise, I left the window open.
I could hear it perfect. I was like, there's an ice cream van here.
You know what? If it's not ice cream truck, it's seagulls. Like when I get on a few phone calls with the Final Fantasy 14 crew, one of them in particular goes, "Are seagulls?" Like, yeah, I live by the beach. We're inundated with seagulls. And if it's not that, it's usually some kids screaming or seagulls. I do apologise. Next time I'll close the window and I'll boil and suffer for everyone's viewing pleasure, because it's damn hot.
It is hot.
Regardless, shall we move on to our next tracks?
We shall move on.
Grand adventure of a big regal moment to a, I would say, dark and mysterious, heavy track, opening track, and then to going back again with another call to adventure. We are going to play Elden Ring's main theme, chosen by our own ZakashiGaming. And the track I brought along is The Little Jack from Skies of Arcadia. Enjoy! you brought in today's Elden Ring.
I said this. I certainly did.
I like how the Elden Ring track and the next track we're going to discuss and the track before it with Elden Ring, they both draw on the theme of call to adventure.
Yeah.
Yet those three do it completely differently to set the stage of what kind of adventure you are going to have. Because if one is grand and regal, this one's heavy and dark and mysterious. That's what I got from this track in particular, especially with the drums. Like the drums are very marchy. It's like dun, 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 dun. And if the word I would describe this track is weight. I feel like there's a weight, and I feel like the drums carry that weight of either what you're about to do or just the atmosphere that you're around. It's a heavy atmosphere in Elden Ring.
Yeah.
And all the enemies are gigantuan, and when you play the game in particular, I'm sure that sense of weight is felt all throughout. And then you have everything else surrounding the drums, which is laid with foreboding and dark. Like the adventure you're about to go on is not nice or breezy. You got to see some stuff. It's my impression. And to clarify, I've not really played Elden Ring. I've played 10 minutes of it. That's the vibe I got from hearing this track.
I think you've said it best. I know that me picking Elden Ring, I mean, things are inevitable. FromSoft make a game, I'm going to love it. Simple as,
you
know.
Love From Software games.
I do. I'm a massive FromSoft nerd. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Sue me? I don't know. But I'm allowed to like what I like, right?
Absolutely.
And I love FromSoft and what they've done with the whole Souls-esque genre that they've built. They've built somehow they've improved on the adventure game, and it became more than just the typical what you'd expect that you've played previously. And yes, okay, you could easily just say, oh, it's just they put a difficulty on it, okay, fair enough, they probably did, but again, I've said for many times, is like not having your hand held. If you can go out there and explore and you learn of the world, that's just brings so much joy to my brain. And I'm like, oh my God, the game is telling me to go out and explore, and we're not going to give you anything. That to me, and again, this perfect goes with the theme, and that's again why I chose it. It's just that dramatization of the adventure of what you're about to go on, what you're going to go into. A lot
of dread in that track. Like it's
everything built in, and you know anyway, because it's like, this is not FromSoft's first game, but if you've played, Dark Souls 3 to 3 or Bloodborne or Sekiro, all of the games, they all have that build. They all have that. You're gonna go in. You're gonna get into this, and you're gonna have a love and hate it, and it's gonna make you feel lots of feelings. But by the end of it, you're gonna be a new man or a new woman. That's FromSoft's experience, right? And anyone who plays these games come out of the other end different. It's happened to me. Like prior to me playing any of the Souls games, I wasn't like that. I didn't particularly care for that experience, and then I sat down, played it, and oh my God, I can't wait to get more. And it's things like this, from the music or how comparing it to how the gameplay is, but that's not the whole point of this podcast, but talking about how much the music impacts the gameplay too.
Absolutely.
Because that's what you need. And any of the boss battles, like the boss, I've only picked this one, but you could pick tons from the series.
The hardest part of doing this podcast is which track to bring.
Well, that's it, and I'm like, well, the best one, or at least some of the best ones, are ones that are the standout, and yeah, the main themes usually stand out very well. And this is the perfect case of it. It's just adventure. dark. You're gonna experience things that you've probably not thought about in going into a game.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's a great track, though. I definitely get the sense
I can't
of
say any
mystery
and
foreboding.
Yeah.
That was by Tsukasa Saito.
I'm glad you're the one doing all these names. I'm not.
Maybe should let you try one, for instance.
Yeah, maybe
Tsukasa Saito, who there's quite a number of composers for this soundtrack. I believe that Saito composed this track in particular. And then going on to a completely different theme of adventure. You can't get two completely opposing styles of track. If one's dark, mysterious, moody, weighty, this one, Little Jack theme from Skies of Arcadia by Yutaka Minobe, is light, breezies, going on an adventure with your best friends in an airship, traveling through the skies. There's definitely a sense of like an airiness to it. Like it's just pure adventure vibes. Like you're just traveling through the sky, wind in your face. And again, I want to say the horns. I feel like I don't know what type of horns they are. We're not musically inclined. We just like what we like.
Just like, yeah.
And we're not going to be very good describing musical tones. But that's something
we're doing a music podcast. Come on, we should be better than this.
We should be perfect. We should be gamers, but we're not. We just do what we do.
I hear a sound, I like sound. Simple as.
Yeah, exactly that. It's like, I hear a sound, I like a sound, I want to share sounds with you and why I like sound. Drop it in the comments if we do it on YouTube. Drop it in the comments on what type of horns they are. But with these horns, it's very... it really propels you forward, which I think any good track of either a theme that's based on adventure, regardless of the type of adventure you're going on, whether it be like Elden Ring's dark, moody vibe to...
It's more wholesome.
Yeah, to Skies of Arcadia's like upbeat, going on an adventure with your best pals, anime style. And it is an anime game.
It is anime, yeah.
I think there's got to be something in the track which kind of starts not at the bottom, but low, and then it builds up to like steps. Right? You're going on an adventure, it's a call to arms. And it's usually drums or horns, and this one is definitely like the horns, which are getting you to build up to a sense of adventure. And when you're flying around in a ship, you hear this track a lot, especially when you get into random encounters. And when I was a wee boy playing this game on the Sega Dreamcast, I've always loved in like classic Final Fantasies when you finally get your airship. I love just flying around the world map, just flying everywhere. And this was my first experience of where the video game, the world map almost takes center stage, where you're actually a sailor going out to the seas, but in this case it's not seas, it's in the sky with airships. And it really encourages that exploration. It's like you're only ever given vague directions on where to go. There's plenty of discoveries to click on to try and find. Lots of danger, random encounters, but it's still an anime game and it's very happy and peppy. You go on an adventure with your best friends, and as you traverse through the land, depending on the land you go on, you can hear it in the music as well. So when you go into the desert land, you can hear the variation of the instruments. So when you go into Ixataka, I think that's what the place is called, the continent, where it's tribal influences. So you see a lot of tribes. So you hear a lot of, so there's a variation in the drums. So it's like tribal drums, and then when you go towards Valuin, where it's quite a military state, and the sound of the drums change, and that changes in real time within the game. And I feel like that's because when you go on an adventure through different lands, of course culturals are going to be the same, right? But it's the horns that kind of give it that connectivity through all of it all, because the horns don't really change that much. It's still the same melody within the track, which always brings you back home. It's still the same crew just traveling through the world, and I love it. I love that track. I've listened to it because a streamer that I like to watch has been playing this for the first time, and I've been watching it through them. What a fantastic game. I love this game. It's actually one of my top, I don't know if it's my top 5 anymore, because it's been a long time since I've played it. And it's one of those games that I like to leave preserved in the memory. Because sometimes when you play a game that you love so much from when you were a child, that you put on a pedestal, and then you play it with your what's the word? Cynicism?
Significant other.
Not significant other, but that cynicism that you gather.
I was thinking of a different word then. Yeah. That's what you're trying to say.
When you get older, your worldview changes. Like, you are literally a different person every so many years in your life, and who I was as a child, or even when I was in my 20s, is not who I am now in my 30s. And I kind of want to preserve that child of playing that game back in the day, and not play the game as I am now, in case it gets ruined in memory, if that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like with music is that gateway to reconnecting you back to a memory. Because again, as I mentioned, I struggle with memory. So certain visuals or video games, and especially music, can take me back to a certain moment in time when it was great. And me playing Skies of Arcadia on this sofa that was too big for a child, just playing on this little TV, it was great. It was a grand adventure, and I've played this game quite a few times. Lovely track. Highly recommend. So, from adventure, we're going to... We need some rock in our life, don't we? Like, I think mine and Zach's, whilst we love genres of all types, we definitely have an affinity with guitars and drums. We like, especially for myself, I love bands, and I like tracks which are quite rocky. And I'm so glad you brought this next track, because the following game is what inspired the idea for me to do a music podcast more frequently. It's because I wanted to share the love of the game we're about to introduce now. So I'm very glad you brought Hypertube from Stellar Blade. And I am also going to be bringing another Stellar Blade track later in the show. But for now, I'll be adding Find Your Flame from Sonic Frontiers. Enjoy.
Go limit, not to compromise. And you can tell me if I mean it, looking in my eyes. Cause I've been waiting for my moment to strike. So come close, let me show you what it's like. Yeah, you can try to stand in my path, but you're gonna regret it. I'll be the one who laughs last while I'm making my exit. Cause this is only for the strong of heart, not if you get it. And no matter what the outcome, you better accept it. I can cut like the shell, I can bury the pain. So go down for a second, just get out of my way. Push it in yourself, I'm not letting it go. So take this as a lesson, cause it's all that we know. Will the whole world know your name? When we dance with destiny. I've been there and I've seen it. I'm never gonna stop believing. You'll find your flame. Oh, we can save the day, not die. It's like I'm seeing double vision. Take a seat, I'm on a mission. We got everything to gain. To become everything you're not. You just give it all you got and take the pleasure with the pain. Yeah, I can feel my fire awaken. No time for being complacent. There's a dream on the horizon. You know we gotta chase it. And when we get to where we're going, then we start the invasion. That's me? Nah, you must be mistaken. You know I'll turn you into rust, grind you right down to dust. You thought you were the best, well, you haven't met us. Fire and rain, call me the hurricane. I'm not letting it go, cause it's all that I know. Will the whole world know your name? When we dance with destiny. I've been there and I've seen it. I'm never gonna stop believing. You'll find your flame. Now here we go, it's the end of the show. Hear them, they're calling your name. Cause in the end, it's you and your friends. You'll find your Now here we go, it's the end of the show. Hear them, they're calling your name. Cause in the end, it's you and your friends. You'll find your flame.
That track gives me goosebumps. I love that track so much. We'll start with your one.
Yeah.
Hypertube. If there was a track that was like girl boss, like a rock girl boss,
Yeah.
that's definitely one of those tracks. I feel like that track is such just a celebration of like girl boss power, or that vibe, and especially in the game Stellar Blade, where you play as a female lead. That track is so hype, and it's in the most random of places.
Exactly. I was literally what I was gonna say was it. Despite what the game is, like, it's got some fantastic tracks, but just happens to be in the most randomest thing in the game.
Yeah, it's like
and it caught me off guard. It was like, what
I
is
think
going
it caught
on?
a lot of people off
What's
guard.
going on? And I'm like, I'm now skateboarding down this tube, and this song's playing, and I'm like, I'm experiencing something here, and I'm loving it, and it's so bizarre. God, I wish I could. That's again a bottle of emotion that I wish I could just stip every time,
yeah,
capture every time, because that to me is gaming. That's gaming moment right there. And oh god, the track. I mean, it's just for every time it'll be played, I'll think of myself sitting playing this game, and I'm like, oh my god, that feeling of what is going on.
Track.
It is a hype. It is.
Like with, like, especially with Stellar Blade soundtrack, I love the soundtrack of Stellar Blade so much. I listen to it even now semi-regularly. I played Stellar Blade this year. I think I borrowed it from you. Or it might have been last... No, it was this year. I was playing Stellar Blade. Granted, I played it on easy, which is not the appropriate difficulty, so I'm told, but I don't care. It was my game. I'll play it how I want. And... the soundtrack is so varied, and it's kind of like how Clair Obscur was a celebration of French music, or French stylings of music. I feel like this one is a celebration of Korean artists, in that it's a soundtrack with full of Korean-based artists of varying different genres, and somehow... even with all the different genres, like we got EDM, hard rock, like fast rock, slow, melodic, orchestral pieces, all in this one game, and we blended it well. Like I don't think there was a soundtrack in this game that was out of place. It all kind of worked. Even this one, even though this track came out of quote unquote nowhere, considering like the lead up to it, it was quite a slow track, and then boom, all of a sudden it's got this hype track as you're grinding down this pipe, and then that leads into a boss fight.
Oh god.
So it does work. It does work in the context of what they're trying to do. They're getting you hyped up down this grind rail straight into a boss track, and I feel like it's perfect choreography. As I mentioned before, it's especially with the lead vocals. Let me get the names up. It's composed by Saiben. I really don't know. Apologies again. And sang by... oof, that's going to be a very hard name to pronounce. Ijin Kwan. I'll go with that. I think we've talked about this a few times, because I was convinced this is the female... I say female, it's a horrible way to say it. The woman vocalist from... Nier Automata. They have a very similar sounding,
very similar,
vocal range. And I thought I was convinced it was that, but it wasn't. It was another lady entirely. And great vocal performance. She did a lot of tracks in this game, and everyone's fantastic. And I feel like, especially like with those individuals, like with Silver Foxes, is kind of because we're older and grayer. Like, we've got literal grey hairs, and we're getting older in our time.
We've got grey on our grey, man.
And I feel like our main hobby, I would say, is video games. I don't think that's a stretch to say for yourself. I think our video games is our main hobby of choice ever since we were children. So we kind of seen a lot of things when it comes to video games. It's quite difficult. It's the chase, isn't it? Like, that's why I play video games. It's the chase of something that can surprise me. And whilst my focal points for focal point of video games, it's that sense of exploration and letting the game just let you off the leash and just let you be the adventurer of your story. Whereas I'm more of a structured story with a start, middle, and end, and do something interesting within that. I like to relate to characters. I really want to relate to characters. That's why I can play video games with different variations of gameplay, as long as I could resonate with a character. With this one, I didn't really relate too much with the characters, but I definitely did with the music, and I feel like the music in this instance was very much a celebration of the character in question, just girl power mode, and I loved it. And then you go straight into a boss fight. This game has some fantastic boss fights, by the way. Even on easy mode, I had great difficulty with every one of these boss fights. Great guitars, great drums. Very hype. And then we get to another hype track, which is featured in Sonic Frontiers.
I'm glad that you brought some Sonic Frontier stuff. I was thinking about it, but I was like, no, you're going to bring one. I know because you've just been recently playing it.
I have been recently playing it, and as much as I am a huge fan of the Sonic series, I am very, I don't know what the word is. I don't like every game in the series. I imagine it's an equation to a football team. Like, I support Sega and the Sonic team even through their bad times. Which is also kind of like Final Fantasy. And so I don't like every single one of their games. And when I initially played Sonic Frontiers, I bounced off it hard. It was not what I was looking for. But for whatever reason, I got it on a sale on Steam, and I had recently acquired a Steam Deck, and I thought, I'll give it a try again. And I've done a complete 180. I think Sonic Frontiers is one of the best Sonics. I think the music within this video game helps with that, because there's basically 3 distinct modes of travel, which is traveling the islands, the levels, cyberspace levels, which plays like traditional Sonics, and the boss fights. And whilst it's almost like 3 soundtracks in one, how distinct each one of those play, I really wanted to bring a world theme, like Ares Act or Movement 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt like we have too many similar vibey of that track here, and I'll probably bring it again in another show. I thought something that would complement Hypertube would be one of the boss tracks, and Sonic Frontiers probably has the best bosses of a Sonic game ever. They still have their jank.
They do.
Yeah, I feel like this is the first game where where I played a Super Sonic where I actually felt powerful. Where not just you're playing Sonic, but now he's gold. Like this one, you genuinely feel like Sonic is a Super Sonic when he does the thing. And the music, which is composed by Tomoya Otani, with vocals by Kellen Quinn, which I believe is from Sleeping with Sirens fame. I think he's the lead singer. And this track in particular is also co-sung by Taylor Smith, who did a track from Sonic Forces, which I actually think is one of the weaker Sonics.
Infinite,
that's the one. I have been listening to this track and the track before it on repeat since playing Sonic Frontiers. I'm on the last island, so I've not heard the next track yet. But usually I'll finish a Titan boss and I'll listen to the Titan boss on repeat, and then I'll do the next Titan boss, and then I'll do that track on repeat. And last night or the night before, I just finished the 3rd Titan, and I'm listening to this on repeat. And what I love about this one is if you listen to it lyrically and what's happening on the island that this is featured in, specifically with Sonic and Tails, with Tails' story within that. I actually interpreted the song differently. I don't know if it was intentional, but I feel like this song was more about Tails. And like, find your flame, go off on your own, do your thing. You always got your friends behind you, and it really resonated with me more than I thought it did at the time.
That's very interesting. Like, because I was going to say, like, why would you pick? I was like wondering why you picked "Find Your Flame," because, like, I mean, I know this is your song. I'm not trying to bash the song. It's just I know when I played, you could have, yeah, but like for me, the grin and the like, oh my god, is this in a Sonic game? Like the first boss battle, the undefeatable.
Oh wow, it was
that. When you hear that, you're hearing it, and then you're hearing go,
yeah,
and it's like, is this really happening? Are we like? What's Sega? Are you okay? Like,
again, it's surprising, right? Kind of like with Hypertube, where, because as I was mentioned, we were alluding to before, because we're quite in our 30s, older gamers, it's quite hard to be surprised by things anymore.
Yeah.
Not like when we were teenagers or children where every game was brand new or interesting, probably because of the age we were at the time. We were like the 90s, 2000s, where games were they were doing different things and they were new, and maybe now we're getting more of the same. So it's quite difficult for us to engage with the video game, and then something happens like, oh, wasn't expecting that. That's amazing. And Hypertube and Sonic battles in Sonic Frontiers definitely ticks that box.
Yeah, definitely.
But I like all the tracks. I don't think I've heard a bad track in Sonic Frontiers. I got to pick any of them.
There's not a bad one. There isn't a bad one.
I just picked this one in particular because as I was going through Ares Island and listening to Tails' story, I just resonated with him a lot. I love, as much as I love Shadow the Hedgehog, he's my favorite character in the Sonic franchise. I love Shadow the Hedgehog. He's my boy forever. I love them all, each in their own different way, including Sonic. You know, I love Sonic, and I feel like the characters in this game really get a glow up in their treatment of their characters, each individually, and especially Tails. I love Tails' arc in this game, and I feel like each of the songs is more representative of the character on that island and Sonic in general.
Yeah.
And I just felt like Find Your Flame was a good track, not just for Sonic, but for Tails. I feel like it's a song for Tails with, like, lyrically, like, go and find your flame. And that really resonates with me. Like, as I mentioned before, I play video games primarily for story and characters. That's how I can resonate with a quote unquote children's game, because I love Sonic and the cast so much. Like, I love every single one of them. And I just resonated with Tails' story in this one. I love it. I thought it was fantastic, and I really liked Sonic's rendition of. It took me a while to get used to a deeper sounding Sonic. But again, he's gotten older too, and I think that's quite reflective. And this song is so really hype. Well.
Yeah,
it's Chris Redfield, isn't it? It's the voice actor of Chris Redfield.
Yeah.
And yeah, the boss fights was just an absolute highlight in this game, and I feel like the music perfectly encapsulates like the hype surrounding the boss fights. They are so big and grand and heavy and fast. With Quinn's vocals, just what an amazing vocal range. That I'm not sure. I'm not very good with keys, but it's quite a high vocal range for. I believe he's a man, isn't he? I believe so.
Killing Quinn. Yeah.
That's such a high vocal range. Like, what an impressive feat! Like, wow, it's a beautiful voice, an amazing voice. Like, really commend it. Wow, an amazing vocal range.
Known as a high tenor.
High tenor. Ah, cool.
Yeah,
that was the word I was looking for. High tenor. I'll write that down. I like that, high tenor. But what an amazing vocal range. And he does that on Undefeated and the other one. What's it called? Breakthrough It All. I think that one I listened to the most, but emotionally, Find Your Flame resonated with me more purely because of Tails. Like, when I was doing this boss fight and listening to music as much as I can grab, I was thinking of Tails. And I love that so much. Yeah, that's it. Anything to add on Find Your Flame?
No, I'm glad that you kind of expanded why you picked it, because I think it gives it more of a. I mean, for me at least, because I was like, I'm quite shocked that you brought Find a Flame, but but I'm glad that you said about it resonating it with Tails, because I didn't really think about it like that myself. So with you saying that, I'm actually thinking now, I was like, oh, actually, do you know what? Yeah, I can actually see that myself. So. But I would have picked Undefeatable.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. And you know what? If you go on Sega Sound Team on Spotify, Undefeatable is the most played of Sega Sound. What was? I was just going to go on Sega Sound Team, Spotify. Yeah, number one, Undefeatable, 41 million plays, nearly 42. It's Sega's most played track on Spotify. And
I just can't believe they did that.
Play with the 14 crew on the Saturdays, usually undefeatables would get played at some point. It's very well played. A lot of Sonic games get played, actually. I find Your Flame's actually number 2. Followed by Break Through It All at number 3.
Right.
In fact, all of the top 10, apart from one, are Sonic games. Friday Night
one of the
from Yakuza
what was it
one.
like the first zone, like area 1,
Chronos.
Yeah.
I love that track so much. Like the Chronos, like just the environment themes of Frontiers is it's. I don't want to talk about it because I feel like I'm going to bring another Frontiers track on the next show.
I'm sure we will.
I'm going to pick one of the field tracks, and because I want to talk about it a lot. Well, there's no more to add. Shall we close the show? We did it.
Yeah, I think
we did one.
Yeah, we have. We've done one. We've done a show.
How long has it been since we did a show? It feels like a lifetime ago.
Well, it's Christmas, wasn't it? Christmas was the last time we did one.
Absolutely, it was Christmas. Apologies for anybody who follows. We have a life. We got stuff to do.
We do. Simple as.
But like, I wanted to do this because I like talking video games with Zach, and I'm always listening to video game music, whether it be playing video games, listening to music, or just while I'm pottering around the house playing video games, or whilst I'm going off on my travels to and from places. I've always got headphones in, and I'm nearly always listening to video game music. And I just wanted to do something creative with it, and to share our passions of video game music with whoever wants to listen. It's a very passionate topic of ours, and I want to share it. So, Zakashi, thank you very much for joining me. Thanks very much for bringing the tracks along. Had some great tracks today. We will be more consistent with the music one, mostly because I feel like it's quite an easy one for us to knock out. Because it was just turn mic on and talk and listen to music. And hopefully very little editing. So that's it for me. Guy in a Hat Games.
And that's it for me. And I'll smell you later.
Oh, and I forget this every single time.
The Discord!
Oh,
the bloody Discord! For God's sake!
When Zakashi streams, or on a rare occasion I stream, both of us forget the bloody Discord.
We do.
Join us on the Discord, which will be in the link at the bottom somewhere, to join our Discord, where we will announce any projects we do when we go live. Zakashi is changing his schedule for streaming.
I am. I'll be changing him from a Monday to Tuesday. Mm-hmm. All of one day of change, but yes, and the time. So I will no longer be doing evening streams. It will be day streams.
Absolutely. Look forward to that. And if you join us on the Discord, that'll be when you'll find out what game he is playing and exactly what time and on what platform. And whenever I decide to go live, that'll be announced there too. And when this episode goes live on YouTube, it'll get announced.
Hell will freeze over by the time Mr. Hat streams.
I will get to it at one point because a dear friend of mine made a very lovely PNG tuber thing, free of charge. I didn't ask for it. They was just a great friend. They are a great friend who made it for me, and I want to show it off at some point somewhere, even if I just do one stream to show it off, because it's a fantastic PNG tuber avatar. And if you are listening to this, thank you so much for making the avatar. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. It's a great picture. Very talented, incredibly talented. So that's it from me, Guy in a Hat Games. ZakashiGaming. We will leave you with another Stellar Blade track, one I brought along with the ending, and just to bring it back down to a reflective piece. Same composers, Cybin and Asian on vocals. We are going to be listening to Dawn from Stellar Blade soundtrack. Good night, everyone, or good day, good morning, Borodar, Noswithdar, wherever you are in the world. Bye.
Bye.
창밖에 남겨진
And we're recording. Oh, man. Oh, no, wait. I've done it wrong.
What?
We're supposed to go straight into track 2. And then we discuss it. I'm fucking up my own thingy.
And then what, do number 3 as well?
I'm going to leave this in and then put it in at the edit. It's like an outtake. Right, we're going to stop this recording and then we're going to go straight into track 2. It's our first one. Come on. Give us a break. I make mistakes. I'm only human. I don't mean to. Right, we're going to go into track 2, which is your track selection.